Hello, this is charter number 18 from Naomi Leon book. Charter number 18, A Pride of Lions. A figure stepped out of the shadows. Gram put her hand on her heart. Fabiola instinctively pulled me close to her. Who is there? Demanded Graciela. It is me, Santiago. Gracias a Dios, said Flora, making the sign of the cross and hurrying into the house to turn on the porch light, which flooded the yard. Gram and Fabiola reached Santiago first. Gram grabbed both of his hands and said, Santiago, we've been looking for you. He hung his head and said something that I couldn't hear, and Gram shook her head and said, No, no, don't say that. We are just happy we found you. Then she hugged him. I froze. I might as well have been back on the playground with a bunch of kids calling our names and me watching it like a movie. Was this real happening? Owen ran forward. Santiago put his hands on Owen's arms. I could hear bits and pieces of Owen's non-stop jabbering. Looking and looking for you. It took a long, long time in Baby Beluga to Mexico and Barrio Jalatlalco. Santiago touched Owen's head and stroked his hair. What did, what did that feel like? Owen wouldn't stop talking, and we came with Bernardo and Fabiola and Lulu. Ruben is my best friend. Firecrackers and candy. Naomi ran after you, thought you were lost. When Owen said my name, Santiago looked up. His forehead wrinkled, and he ran a hand through his rumpled brown hair. He swallowed, and I saw the wool right down his throat. He reached an arm toward me. Graciela took the bag from my hand and gently tried to push me forward. I went to go to him, but I felt as if I was knee deep in wet cement. I opened my mouth to say something, anything, but only tears came out. Santiago scooped Owen up with one arm and walked to me. Then he knelt down on one knee, reached out and pulled me into his arms. At first he rocked us back and forth like people do when they're just plain happy to see a friend. But then he became still and pulled us even closer. I knew he was crying by the way his chest was sputtering and down and by the sounds of his snifflings. I clung out tight to him and he squeezed me back over and over, his arms strong and protective. When I pressed my face into his shirt, I smelled sea salt and was I dreaming? A whiff of soap. Mis niños, he said, burying his face in our hair. When we stood up, there wasn't a dry eye in heaven. Fabiola started talking in Spanish and introduced everyone. We all went inside and, even though it was late, we crowded around the kitchen tables. We looked for you, said Ruben. I did not arrive until tonight, explained Santiago, reaching over and ruffling Ruben's hair. My car was not working and I had to take a bus, but the drivers are strike, so I waited in the bus station for 3 days. I knew I would not arrive on time to carve in the festival. For that I was very sad. I almost did not come, but something told me I must come. It was all or positive thinking, I said quietly. Yes, maybe, said Santiago, smiling. I went straight to El Zócalo to hear the announcements, and when I heard Bernardo's names, I could not believe it. I went to find him, and then, when I saw Maria, Naomi, and Owen, I wondered if it could be true. My children, but I want to think to prepare, so I ran. I chased you, I said. I did not. I took a taxi to the house of Teresa. She told me you came to see her and where you were staying. Then I could not stop thinking about you. I went, I had to come. I knew I had to come. Santiago seemed shy, but maybe that was because we had all seen him crying early, or maybe he was just quiet like me. I related this whole story to what happened and how we got here, with a little help from Graciela because Santiago's English wasn't what it used to be. I sat beside him, and as he listened and nodded with a sad, tired face, he reached down and stroked my hair. Tell us what you have been doing, said Fabiola. Santiago shrugged his shoulders. I have lived in Puerto Escondido for the last 7 years. I have a boat and I take the tourists out to catch fish. It is a small living. In the town, it is becoming more popular now, especially to the surfers. I don't make the big money like I made in the United States, but it is very cheap to live there. I have a little house, and when I'm not working on the boat, I carve the animals. I bring them to Aunt Teresa and she paints them. They are sold in some shops. I sometimes make more money from the carvings than from the fishing. He looked at me and Owen. A tiny smile showed him on his face. Do you want to know the name of my boat? It is the Soledad, after my children. Soledad is the saint, right? I said. That's right. You were named for Nuestra Señora de la Soledad. By my boat was named for you.